Cheers to disappointing people who are trying to keep us small, okay? Cheers to losing people who are no longer aligned with our energy. That is what we're getting into today. Why, during your self-development journey, you will very likely lose some people in your life, but why that's a good thing, because it means you're making room for people who are actually more aligned with you. And listen, if you're here watching this video, it's very likely that you're a soul-led leader. You're somebody with a huge mission and a really ambitious vision for yourself. And so with people like us who are very ambitious, we are very subject to change, so to speak. Like, we are very predisposed to changing throughout our lives, right? And that's not a bad thing. So when people will tell you like, oh, like you've changed, and they say it in a negative way, that is a red flag to me. That is like, why are you not okay with me changing, right? And that's a really important question to ask yourself. Like, if there's somebody in your life who's trying to keep you from growing when you're on your journey of growth, it's like, why? Something I've heard that really resonated with me is that anybody who is disappointed in you changing and growing and evolving, anybody who is trying to keep you small, it's because they are benefiting from you staying small. They're benefiting from you not setting boundaries. They're benefiting from you not speaking your truth. They're benefiting from you keeping yourself small. Hopefully this isn't you, but if it is, just know that you're not alone. Like, for a very long time, I kept myself small in order to not lose people, in order to keep certain people in my life, even if they didn't feel right for me, even if they were draining my energy, even if they were unaligned, because I was afraid. I had such little confidence in myself and I doubted myself so much that I didn't think I could do better. I was like, if I lose these people, I will never have friends again. If I lose these people, like, I'll never find somebody who understands me again, right? And maybe some of you can relate, but the truth is that is a limiting belief. Of course you will find people who understand you. In fact, the more aligned you become with your most authentic self, which is what we do here, right? The more you learn to love and accept yourself, the more aligned people will come into your life. And when you let go of the people who aren't aligned with you, you make room for your soul tribe to come in, for the right people to come in. So understand that when somebody is discouraging you from growing, that is not a good thing, generally speaking, right? And you have to think about like, well, why is this person trying to discourage me? Are they benefiting in any way from me keeping myself small? Are they benefiting from me not setting boundaries? Are they benefiting from me not stepping into my full power and unleashing my potential, right? And if so, why would I want this person in my life? That is the shift, right? The shift is, I don't want people in my life who are taking advantage of me. I don't want people in my life who want to keep me small. I want people in my life who are going to encourage me to grow and grow with me. I want people in my life who are going to inspire me to be better. And anybody who's trying to keep you small is not inspiring you to be better. I think that once you understand that the universe, and that includes the people in your field, are a mirror, it kind of changes everything. Because I'll give you an example, right? Let's say, like I did, you have very low self-worth. You are going to attract people who devalue you, who also don't see your worth, who kind of mirror that lack of self-worth to you. If you don't have boundary setting, if you're a people pleaser, right, you are going to attract people who want to take advantage of that. You're going to attract people who like to overstep people's boundaries. But once you start setting those boundaries, those people are going to feel very threatened. For one thing, because people in general don't like change. People have an idea of who you are, and any change to that idea and that belief threatens their belief system. It threatens their own identity. So people don't like change, right? It feels unsafe. The brain doesn't like change because it is the unknown. And so when you start to change, people in general might start to react a little bit differently. However, there are people in your life who will be okay with it and be like, oh, like, you've changed. That's awesome. I see that you're working on yourself, blah, blah, blah. That's amazing. But then there's these other people that we're talking about who will be like, oh, you've changed, because they feel as though they can't make jokes at your expense anymore. Maybe you've started setting boundaries. Maybe you've started taking better care of yourself. Maybe you're showing them something about themselves that they don't want to see. You're showing them that it is possible to grow and they're not willing to put in the work, right? Whatever the case, these people who are no longer aligned with the person you're becoming, it is okay to let them go. And honestly, this is a timeless video, so this applies anytime. However, it just so happens that yesterday was a new moon in Libra, and the new moon in Libra, new moons in general are about release, right? Making room for the new. But with Libra in the picture, it is very much about friendships and relationships. So if you're watching this around the time of upload, it is the perfect time to start thinking about these things and releasing the people who are no longer aligned with you. This is how you make room for the people who are. And let me know in the comments, like, if you've been on your journey of self-development, how is it feeling? Like, is it lonely, right? Are you feeling like you've lost people? Are you still keeping yourself small to hold on to people that maybe it's time to let go of? Like, where are you at? Let me know. Let's start a conversation, because something that doesn't get talked about enough is how lonely self-development can be, partially because of everything we've been talking about, but also because it requires a lot of introspection and spending a lot of time with yourself. You know, for a long time, I hated being by myself. I hated being in silence with my own mind. So I was overstimulating myself as much as possible. Loud music, alcohol, weed, constantly had the TV on in the background, right? Whatever the case, scrolling. I was always numbing, and I was always silencing my intuition. I was always silencing my voice because I was afraid to be alone with my thoughts. I didn't like the idea of it. But as I've started to accept and love myself and cultivate abundance and acceptance and peace within myself, I love being alone. I literally, I love going out on dates with my boyfriend. I love going out with my friends, of course, but I love taking myself out on dates. Like, I love sitting at a restaurant and hanging out on my own and doing some work. I love being home by myself and just, working on myself, working on my own stuff, on my business, etc. Like, I love being by myself. But of course, as humans, we are social animals, and I also love spending time with aligned people. But back in the day, I was holding on to people who, when I got a text from them, I would literally roll my eyes. What kind of friendship is that? Why would you even want a relationship that's so draining in your life? But I kept them around, again, because of my lack of self-worth, because of my limiting beliefs around, like, I'll never find anybody else. Not true. You will find people who are so much better for you, so much more aligned with you. But it starts with the inner work, right? It starts with that self-acceptance. It starts with knowing your worth and trusting yourself so much that you're like, of course I'll find better people. These people are no longer aligned with me because they no longer reflect my inner world. They no longer reflect how I feel about myself. Again, the universe is a mirror. It will reflect how you feel inside. And when you start to love yourself, you will start to attract people who love you for you. I promise you that. This is not like, I'm not guessing. This is a fact, okay? Like, this is a guarantee that when you start loving yourself, genuinely accepting yourself, and showing up authentically, there will be people who resonate. There will be people who are perfect for you. They are aligned with you. And very likely, they are also people who are working on themselves, who are also showing up authentically, who are also loving on themselves and spreading love and abundance. And that's what we do here. If that resonates, please subscribe and join the community, because we are all about self-love and self-acceptance and spreading that love and acceptance to others. But listen, like I said, this is the perfect time to go all in, right? To stop worrying about whether you'll lose somebody or what other people think, and really just start working on yourself fully to step into that higher self. And if you're ready to do that, if you're ready to fully embody your ideal self, go in the description. I have some resources for you, including the embodiment protocol, the self-concept reboot, and some other freebies. You can check out whatever resonates with you. But I really want to encourage you, wherever you decide to go next, go all in, right? Stop worrying about like, oh, I might lose somebody in my life. It's okay. It's part of the journey. It is part of the growth to lose people who are no longer aligned with you. And it is okay to release and let go to make room for the new. And that's all I got for you today. So if you're new here, I'm Merlina Azul. I hope you'll consider joining the community. Let me know if the video resonated in the comments, if you feel called to share your story and what's going on with you right now. And if you don't want to write a comment publicly, just give the video a thumbs up so I know that it resonated. And I'll see you in the next one.